Greetings, Church of the Holy Spirit. I am Daniel Kejuka. I work with Hope on a Thousand Hills as the Director of Operations. Last year, I was so glad to be part of the construction of this fish farm here at Masaka at Star School. Today, the fish farm is upgraded to give more production and be much more better. Thank you very much, Church of the Holy Spirit. May God bless you more.
So, in this small blue cage here, with a very fine mesh, we have about 3,500 fry, tilapia fry, and these happen to be Dutch orange variety of tilapia. We put them here, we're not exactly sure of the count, but after a few weeks we begin to take out the better growers and we put them in another cage, and we keep on doing that until we've got the fastest 3,000 growers to advance to the next stage, and then the remainder we throw them out because they don't have good growth potential. So we feed these on a very fine powder, high protein, with all the vitamins and minerals that we need, and this is imported from Israel and it makes them grow very well. It's a very small powder. And because they have no stomachs hardly, it's a continuous process all day long, just letting a little bit of powder go in. This is the second stage. Those that were promoted from the first small blue cage come into this black cage that has an 8mm mesh. So in here we have now just over 3,000 fish, which are called fingerlings. These are tilapia, and these happen to be originating from a genetic line in Thailand, and they grow very fast and they're disease resistant. So some of these are already big enough to be promoted to the third tank, which we're just preparing right now. So this system obviously is still up in startup mode. We haven't populated this yet, but we're just about to. We're tying it in position. It's a 20mm mesh size, and some of those fish from the second cage are already big enough to be graded and put into this cage where they're able to grow to the next stage. So this is cage 3. And this grading and promotion is a continuous process. We do it 7 days a week. So the biggest fish are always moved on, and any that perform badly are removed from the system. This area here is looking a bit green. We have a problem with transparent panels up here, but we'll soon sort that out. At the moment we're filling it up. This is mains water coming in from the utility company. Tiny bit of chlorine in there, but the algae and the volume dilute it, so it's not lethal. The water comes in here. Once it's full, we turn it off. It's a recirculation system. We don't use much water. We recirculate it. It comes out of here, and then it goes from a pump, up a pipe, up above, and is blown into the grow-out tanks. These are the diffusers. We have 2 blowers on alternate duty cycles in the ceiling, and down here are the directional diffusers. They pull a column of water up, mix it with bubbles, and blow it out to give us a lateral flow, a laminar flow of 10 centimeters a second. This keeps the water mixed in very good quality, very good water quality, such as high oxygen, low CO2, and low ammonia. The water moves through, so this becomes like a river. There's a central wall, and this gives the continuous circular motion and keeps the water at its best. Like a big horseshoe around the side of the grow-out tanks, we have these channels, and these are now being used for biofiltration. This first tank here is a settlement chamber. The rate of flow is very slow, and so any dirt that's in here drops out to the bottom, nearly all of it. The bit that goes through is taken out by 2 filter pads that are over there. And then over in this section, this is the biofiltration section. It's not configured properly yet, but these media that you see lying on the bottom are going to be lifted into a drum which is above the water, and water will run through it. They'll have a very high loading of nitrifying bacteria. This will enable the ammonia from the fish to be stripped out, and then the clean water drops out to the bottom of the bins into this channel and through the cages once again. In Rwanda we have a slight problem of altitude being too high, making it too cold much of the time for tilapia. They like it to be 28 to 30 degrees centigrade for maximum growth. So what we've done is we've put a plastic wall around the whole side, and there was already a roof on the place, and we're all in here now feeling quite hot on a day that's fairly cold and rainy outside. So with no additional heating, we've raised the water temperature to the premium range for growth to 28 to 30 degrees. This is the control room. It's sectioned off from the rest of the place because of the humidity. We want to keep all the electronics as dry as possible, so this is vented to the outside, not to the fish growing unit. We have a backup generator that is not automatic, but we have two alarms here. This one rings when the power goes off. Somebody runs over, they flip this over to the generator, and when the power comes back, the second alarm goes. Somebody comes back in, flips it the other way. This is a 24/7 operation. It's never unmanned, and the people who man it are skilled technicians. So we never have a problem with power going out for more than 60 seconds. This is the control panel here for the different devices. We have a water pump. We have two blowers. As blowers are critical to the system, they're on alternate duty cycle, so if one breaks, we can take it out, get it replaced and put the other one in. Then we have lights, and then we have the two alarms.